Hello, bienvenue à la Danganronpa. That's not necessarily incorrect, I guess, if you do speak French. It's probably awful hearing it because of either my accent or because the grammar actually is stupid. But we're playing Danganronpa today. We are heading into what has been called by Monokuma himself, the final class trial. Hajime isn't confident going in. Doesn't feel like he has a lot of clues. Doesn't feel like he knows, have any idea who might have murdered Nagito. And honestly, neither do I. So we're relatable today. I am playing this on Twitch. If you want to see me play live, it's in the description of the video that you are currently watching on YouTube. But if you're watching me on Twitch, well, then this is irrelevant. So anyway, let's fucking tear it up, baby. I felt the same. I felt the fucking same. I feel like that makes sense for this trial. The Mukuru, the last trial of the first game, I did feel kind of confident going into. So I was like, I don't know. But this one, nah, B, nah. How's my pet doing? I think she's, no, damn. I'm gonna just raise one more child. I'm gonna farm her just one more time. Kyoko. Fucking, I'm so happy that this is just a copy paste in the fucking chat. It's one of my favorite fucking things. No, we're gonna go a little bit further. I just wanna get Snake and me up and running here. So we're just gonna tear that shit up. Farm her one more time. Disgusting. That does sound a little sus, isn't it? That sounds a little bit sus. Just a little sussy-wussy. But, oh, whoa, what's that? I'm done farming her. Hello? Oh? Is it only snakes? Do you only get snakes? Because I've only had snakes the entire time. It wants to give you something. I don't want it. Mana coins, Remune, coconut juice. Wow, look at me go. See you later. Wow. Get new things. You get new stuff. Big boners. Level 82. God damn. I'm fucking tearing this shit up, apparently. I don't think I saved last time, so we're gonna fucking do that. No, I don't think I did at all. Holy Christ. Alright, well, Monokuma Rock, we're heading to the last trial. A shit-a-me. Oh, it's like a piece of poo? You know what? I actually can't remember. I think I've only had snakes the first time. Right. Neglecting them I could do. Looks like everyone's here. Is this it? Shouldn't there be more people?
Damn it.
Stop it. You're making me depressed.
Stupid fool.
You're making me depressed. Friday Night Funkin'. All right, I'll look that shit up. So, it is going to happen again. Oh, Peko. The cruel conflict where we must doubt our friends. But once we're through this, we can go back, right?
That's right.
That Monokuma bastard said so, didn't he? He said this is the last class trial. But we've been tricked every step of the way. There's no way I can believe that so easily.
Of course not.
Why can't you believe it? The guy who's making us do this... The guy who's making us do all this is the one who's saying it, you know?
No, right?
That's why I'll definitely survive. If we can really go home after we deal with this class trial. I'll definitely find out who the killer is, no matter what. Even if I have to pull out all the stops. Friday Night Fucking. What the fuck? Why are you here? You haven't realized it yet. That feeling of wanting to leave this island, thinking like that is Monokuma's trap, you know?
Huh?
What are you saying?
Got it?
There's no way Monokuma will end things here. Oh, goodbye. He's planning something far worse. Stop trying to jinx us! Damn right. Stupid rabbits, just shut up. Listen. That's all I got. Everyone, you mustn't run away from despair. Huh? I have finally realized, after losing my powers, I've realized that cursing your powerlessness or your fate accomplishes nothing. The possibility may be small, but as long as there's a possibility, you must face it in order to become someone who could be proud of yourself. So I will fight.
Huh?
Hajime Hinata. I want to, just maybe a little bit of hand holding with that rabbit. What's her deal? Why is her voice fucking 10 octaves lower? Hajime Hinata, Sagito Kameda, Chicken Nam Nanny, Fakahiko Baby Gangster, Peko 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 Peko. I do not really know, but she seems different from before. Maybe she read a self-help book. But her eyes, she looked so determined.
You.
What can you tell just by looking at those button eyes? They're actually a black bean paste. Anyway, make sure you turn off Minimaru. It'd be annoying if you start talking during the trial. Oh, fine.
But still.
Somehow, I understand what Monami is saying, I think. Anyway, let's get going to the last class trial. What did she say? I was so focused on my voice, I actually wasn't even listening to her. Finally, if I lose my powers, I realize that cursing your powerlessness or your fate accomplishes nothing. The possibility may be small, but as long as it's a possibility, you must face it in order to become someone who can be proud of yourself. So I will fight. Okay, great. That's good advice.
Yep.
You're right. We need to fight as much as we can. No matter what, what hopeless truth awaits us at the end. Fuck it, he go get Baby Gangster. It was really fucking good. Rawr. Don't fuck with me. This is the end. I kept saying those words to myself over and over. Within my mind. Within my mind freak. I forgot that there was actually a mind freak reference in this fucking game with Sonya. Mind freak. Mind freak. I entered Monokuma's cock. Monokuma's rock. Damn. God, depressing. This elevator ride. This will be the last time for this too, right? I hope so.
Well?
Show me your motivation! Let's worry about things after we're finished.
You're right.
More importantly, we must focus on the class trial before us. What do you say, Celeste?
Damn it.
The killer managed to kill someone like Nagito. There's no way this is going to go smoothly. I mean, I still can't believe one of us was able to do that. Receive the pain. The pain. Nagito was problematic in many ways, but he was also a valuable asset during the trials. Yeah, you're right. In fact, during the Funhouse ordeal, we were completely dependent on him. Get the bread. But even if he's gone, the ones who've survived, need to stand at a height. It behooves them. We must fight. Retrieve the bread. And then the door slowly opened. This bright light greeting us. Is that the light of my asshole? Or the light of my asshole? Damn. Looks looks a little bit like, Orwellian. Well then, now that the Chatterbox Nagito is gone, there are only 6 of you left.
Shut the hell up.
Enough! Just fucking start this already!
Hey.
Hey, this is it, right? This is really the last class trial, right? It sure is. So, you gotta show some enthusiasm and make sure you give it your all. Didn't I tell you? He said it! This is the end!
Now then.
Let's get this trial started.
Killing!
This is the last class trial. Let's show some enthusiasm and kill each other. This is the 5th class trial. According to Monokuma, this is also the last class trial. That curtain is about to rise. The bread is about to rise. And we are going to get it. Nagito Kamaeda, the ultimate lucky student. Kind of ironic, isn't it? When I first met him, I thought he was a nice guy. He came across as very sociable. Yeah, then he was a little wacko, but his true nature, how such a demented thought process. There was nothing like his outward appearance. He said he believed in hope more than anything else. He said he was yearning for a powerful hope that can overcome any despair. He said he would even help despair just to prove that hope will never lose to despair. And he said he'd become a stepping stone for hope. His way of thinking was completely screwed up. But Oh, I yawn. There were also times he saved us too. Like when he got stabbed in the stomach, someone like him was killed. That was the end of him. Homosexual. And I have no idea at all who did that. But... Okay. Why is it showing Mikon as red? She's not dead. That's weird. There's no way we could end this without knowing. We would be consumed by despair. Damn, so Thick Daddy, Byakuya, man. That's why we absolutely have to find out. The person who finishes off Nagito. The killer who murdered Nagito. In order to return from this despair alive, we need to reach the truth. And if Mangakuma says this really is the last class trial, that's all the more reason we need to do this. That's all the more reason we need to do this. It's sun-made time. And so, this life-threatening trial, billowing with hope and despair, the last one, has begun. Do you want to save your progress? Yeah, a little bit. I don't think it... Wow, I did not save it all. Let's say your skills. Will hope prevail? The trickster Nagito was brutally murdered. His unpredictable death has left a looming shadow of mystery in the hearts of Hajime and the others. Who is the traitor? What was the clue Nagito left? Will they be able to see the light within the darkness between hope and despair? Okay. Alright, fine. We gotta purchase some. Alright, let's open that e-handbook. No, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, no, I've gotta talk to, Monomite. Okay, we can look over the stuff, too. Oh, what? Oh, we only have 3 left. Okay, well, let's see if there's any... No, moon salt. Increases jumping power. That's fine. Upshift increases your aiming speed, effective during the non-stop debate, and the approved Hangman's Gambit can become a downshift. Reduces your aiming speed. Okay, that's fine. Is that it? School trip gone wrong. Next time on Inuyasha. Alright, let's get to truth bullets. Monokuma file number 5. The victim. Next time on Dangan Ball Z. Dragon Ball. The victim is Nagito Komaeda. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. And the rope was burned, so it looked like he was tied up, and then the rope got burned. Both of Nagito's legs were tied with rope, and each rope was tied to nearby pillars, which prevented him from moving. His thighs were also covered with a lot of stab wounds. The rope that was tied to Nagito's right arm burned off. However, Nagito's right sleeve still looked clean. True. A survival knife that was stabbed into Nagito's right hand. I think a Chiaki fact. A survival knife that was stabbed into Nagito's right hand. The knife is from the military base. It's safe to assume that the wounds on Nagito's legs and left arm were caused by this knife. Is it safe? Okay. Blood was splattered on the palm of Nagito's left hand. For some reason, the splatter cuts off in the middle of his palm. Also, the back of his left hand has an unnatural blood stain that's only above the middle joints of his fingers. Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape. However, the blood that splattered onto his face wasn't under the duct tape. The tape itself had a lot of crinkles in it, as if Nagito was desperately moving his mouth underneath that. Nice. The spear impaled through Nagito's stomach. A cord with an iron weight at the end of it extends to the back of the handle. For some reason, only the section where the cord and weight touch is bloody. Only the section where the cord and weight touch is bloody. A life-size Monokuma plushie that was found on the floor near the fire's origin point. It has a huge bloody hole in its stomach as if it was stabbed. A faint red line was on the ceiling girder inside the goods warehouse. A lot of tipped-over Monokuma panels are scattered around the goods warehouse. In one area, the panels seem to be laying on top of each other in a straight, orderly line. Found at the fire's origin point. It looks like this is what caused the fire. An MP3 player that comes with speakers. The music that was blaring throughout the warehouse when Hajime and the others arrived was coming from this. Sonia secretly used one of the bombs in the military base at the ancient ruins and found that the bombs were fake. At the time, Monami was apparently peeking at the whole thing. Monokuma knew all along that the bombs were fake. However, he apparently never revealed that fact to anyone. Look at all those chickens. The diary that Monami updated every day. Or did she? According to Monokuma, Monami can't write. These are hidden at Nagito's cottage under his bed. Found at Nagito's cottage under his bed. It's a round, thin piece of aluminum paper. Poison found inside the refrigerator at Nagito's cottage. The warning label on the back of the bottle states, "This enchanted liquid is highly potent and takes effect immediately. Please handle with care. Though its volatility is low, this liquid is very dangerous when vaporized. In a gaseous state, it is heavier than the air. It breaks down in minutes, and it is susceptible to hydrolysis." I don't know what hydrolysis is, so let me look that up quickly.
Hydrolysis.
Hydrolysis. Sounds like Chiaki. What the fuck?
Hydrolysis.
The chemical breakdown of a compound due to reaction with water. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. This liquid is very dangerous when vaporized. In a gaseous state, it is heavier than air. It breaks down in minutes and is susceptible to hydrolysis. So it's possible for you to poison anyone to death. Poison someone to death without any complications. Keeping this liquid secure by storing it in a cool place in a glass or plastic container away from sunlight. Okay. Oh. This file contains the Host Peak Academy student profiles for all 16 students participating in the school trip. Due to the fact that Monokuma, as it forged the traitor's profile, looking at this won't help identify who the traitor is. Yeah, I don't really have a suspect. Monokuma. Wow, there's not many truth bullets, is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Never mind, there's a ton. That's a normal amount. I just have no idea. Okay. Well, let's fucking save that shit. Finish prep, baby. Finish that prep. Trial. All rise.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh my, Monami? My cute little sister? You're awfully quiet. What's happened to you? You've ascended the ladder of adulthood and reached the moon? Because you're a rabbit?
Oh, she's not tied up.
No!
My girl.
One more time! Jeez! How about this one? This will be my final blow!
Oh no 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 no! Oh, no!
It's useless.
It's no use!
Please stop. I feel bad for Monomi.
Isn't that what that means? Muda 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 muda, isn't it? Muda 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 muda! Please stop, I feel bad for
Right.
Monami.
Now's not the time for me to horse around with Monami. The class trial has started, after all. The victim this time is Nagito, who is attempting to reveal the traitor for everyone's sake.
I'm gonna use 9% of my total power.
Who in the world killed him? I'm so curious.
Carmen Sandiego, the 17th student on this island.
If he was killed for trying to reveal the traitor, that traitor is obviously the killer. They were trying to shut Nagito up.
No, that might not be it.
Huh? Are you trying to protect the traitor? They didn't call out when we were in danger. Wait. Don't tell me you're the traitor.
Don't say something so stupid. There's no way in hell I'm the traitor.
Now that's more like it. Why don't you guys hurry and start arguing already?
The traitor and the killer murdered Nagito.
Is he here, right? Are they the same person? Or Ora. All right, let's see. Oh, we're right in. Let's do it.
The killer didn't take
oh my
Nagito's
God.
mouth to shut him up.
I'm so sorry.
I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up.
What were they trying to find out by torturing him?
Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
If so, the suspect
Is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
Wasn't it? No, it was Sonya. It was
I thought
Sonya.
it by coincidence.
No.
There's no way I'd torture someone.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. Thank fucking Christ. Why did the killer have to torture Nagito? That's also a little sad, I suppose, when you think it's the only one. No, with the wounds on Nagito's body, you know, I should read this. This gives me a clue. The traitor and the killer who murdered Nagito. Oh, no, pardon me. Oh, no. Were the wounds on Nagito's body really caused by torture in the first place?
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
No, that's
There you go.
wrong.
Yeah, okay. That makes, the duct tape, because why would that would they tape his mouth
Nagito's
over?
mouth was covered with duct tape, so he wouldn't have been able to confess anything.
That makes
If he was being
sense.
tortured for information, they wouldn't have taped his mouth like that.
Of course, it's so obvious. Kazuichi's here to save the day.
Ah, I just realized it. It's a trap.
Trap?
Stupid Hajime. You got caught in that trap.
Stupid. His Hajime looks so concerned.
Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped shut, you obviously assume he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap. He wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention. This is how it went. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb's location.
What are you even saying? You trying to bother me with that? I
Pay
certainly am.
attention.
I'll just use it on the
This is
next
how it
one.
went down.
Oh, that's not it.
First, the killer tortured and got information. Then, after they killed him, allow me to
I got it all
those
by
words.
myself. Thank you. I appreciate it. I think I might play V3 on the
There's no
easiest
doubt
difficulty because
Nagito's
I'm finding
mouth
it
was
too
covered
hard
with
now.
duct tape before he was beat up.
Right, the blood underneath it. The blood
What
underneath
did you
it.
say?
Who cares about the duct tape? We might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors.
We don't need to play a game. It's clear the duct tape was on his mouth before the torture even began.
Why do you always side with Hajime? Do you have a crush on him or something?
Are you in elementary school or
You
something?
were with us when I peeled
course
the
she
duct
has a
tape
crush
off
on me.
Nagito's mouth, right? The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember?
All right, I'm gonna look over all the fucking truth bullets again because that was the thing where I just completely forgot about that. Nagito Komeita inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. Any Dangan fan hates the word gentle. The body is discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. Really? Interesting. The estimated time of death would be noon sharp. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds to each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration in his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. Both of Nagito's legs were tied with rope, and each rope was tied to nearby pillars, which prevented him from moving. His thighs were also covered with a lot of stab wounds. The rope that was tied to Nagito's right arm burned off. However, Nagito's right sleeve still looked clean. A survival knife that was stabbed into Nagito's right hand. The knife is from the military base. It's safe to assume that the wounds on Nagito's legs and left arm were caused by this knife. Blood was splattered on the palm of Nagito's left hand. For some reason, the splatter cuts off in the middle of his palm. Also, the back of his hand has an unnatural blood stain that's only above the middle joints of his fingers. Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape. However, the blood splatter onto his face wasn't under the duct tape. The tape itself had a lot of crinkles in it. Yeah. Spear impaled to Nagito's stomach. A cord with an iron weight at the end of it extends from the back of the handle. For some reason, only the section where the cord and weight touch is bloody. A life-size Monokuma plushie that was found on the floor near the file's origin point. It has a huge bloody hole in its stomach as if it was stabbed. A faint red line was on the ceiling girder inside the goods warehouse. Whatever. Straightly line. Okay. 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 All right, we'll just have to go through it as we do it. As we do. Okay.
The blood on his face came from his arm wounds. Which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth. He must have been struggling to open his mouth under the duct tape.
Perhaps the duct tape was used so he wouldn't be able to scream. Then it's like I said at the beginning. The tape wasn't for torture. It was to keep his mouth shut.
However, if they wanted to seal his mouth, they did not need to hurt him with such ferocity.
They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito.
Then, are you saying the killer was trying to make him suffer?
If so, it's friggin' crazy. Did they go psycho or something?
No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard.
Suffer!
If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence.
I don't think they intended to destroy all the evidence, because I don't think they intended to, because the rope that was tied on Nagito's
The
thing.
warehouse fire was for destroying evidence?
We can't think of any other reason.
But who could have done that? When the fire occurred, everyone in this room was gathered in front of the warehouse.
Yeah. And right after I opened the warehouse door, the flames started burning from the very back.
Oh, is that why the things were lined up? So that they would like domino forward and push over the lighter or something?
Which means it is plausible to think that nobody here set the fire.
The killer isn't one of us. But that's not the case, huh? I mean, it's wishful thinking.
Even if it was only a coincidence, the timing was just too perfect.
Based on the pattern up until
you.
now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this.
Some kind of setup? Like what?
It's funny when you actually listen to what they're saying and think about the evidence. It's you can kind of put it together. I just man. Some of them I'm just like right over my head. I think it's because I tell myself I'm bad at these things too a little bit. Some kind of setup. Yeah, that's okay. I think based on the pattern up until now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this. Some kind of setup, like what?
I do not know that, but that has been the pattern before.
That's our Miss Sonia. You have such an amazingly high intellect.
Oh, thank you guys. You're so sweet.
Let's think about this based on what Miss Sonia thinks. Is that okay, Miss Sonia?
Damn right it is.
Nice. The reason for the fire, huh? You're right. We need to clear that up first. Oh, thanks. I find like I feel like I can kind of figure out what the torture wounds, burned rope, survival knife, duct tape, Monokuma plushie. All right. I'm gonna write these down. Oh, that was weird. Direct cause of the fire. You know what? Let's figure out burned rope.
The oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
The killer used some kind of setup.
Yeah.
He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
I think they did.
Probably just threw the lighter.
No, I wouldn't agree with that.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way?
I think it's the Monokuma panels.
Maybe they used invisible thread.
That's it.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
Sound waves, no.
Perhaps opening the door caused...
Consent! I don't think so. Have you listened to that? Here, I am switching the tab
agree
for a
that
sec.
opening the door is what started the fire.
I also agree with something.
I
Yeah.
thought it was the wind pressure. A dust devil blowing here from glorious Japan.
Japan.
No, not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels.
No, but I haven't listened to that. A real man.
A
Call
huge
home.
number of tipped-over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right? It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were laying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
Does that mean anything?
The killer probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect.
Domino's Pizza, 50% off, sponsored by. Just
Domino
kidding, not
effect.
yet.
You
Not
mean
yet,
those
baby.
tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
In place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels. So when he opened
This is
the
helpful.
warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second.
Okay, interesting. Open the door, MP3 player, and there was the curtain. The plushie was right behind it. Okay.
And from there, they fell like
Excuse me.
dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over?
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
And one more thing. There was something else the killer did to hide the domino effect, right?
The killer did one thing to hide the domino. One other thing. They said it was super loud. I'm gonna guess it's probably the MP3 player.
I see!
There we go, baby. We're getting back up there. Get that
Talking
influence
about
gauge
the
back
MP3
up there,
player,
baby.
Right? That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound of the falling panels.
That's right, the fucking Dark Souls 3 OST. The inside of the warehouse felt even darker because our eyes were still used to the bright sunlight outside. Within that darkness, a loud hymnal blared throughout the warehouse at full volume. Hey, do you guys hear something? Yeah, it's really damn loud. Does Nagito like listening to this depressing crap? No, I'm not talking about the music. And as if on cue, it suddenly started. Hawoosh, baby. Yeah, Kane's got really good hearing.
So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling.
But those
Panels
sounds
falling.
weren't the only strange thing, right?
She almost sounds like a Care Bear. If she kind of like if you put that voice on a Care Bear, it's just said different stuff. It would sound like it belongs. But those sounds weren't the only
Looking
strange things,
back on
right?
it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse.
It's fine. I'll open it slowly. No, that's not the problem. Seriously, it'll be fine. With those words, Akane brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse. Clatter, clatter, clatter. Huh? It's not opening. Is there something blocking the door? I can barely open it. I knew it. It's a trap. Seriously, just stop it, okay? Didn't I tell you it'll be fine? I just gotta use a little more force. What happened to opening it slowly? Akane ignored their protests, and with a mighty kick, the door flew open. Bam.
So the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel.
That's
When
right.
we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels eventually reached the lighter.
Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught on fire. At least, that's how it looks.
You don't look so sure.
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door.
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
There should be fairly light. For someone who's strong as her.
But the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
Is that a problem?
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse.
If that door was the only entrance to the warehouse. I see. So the problem Chiaki's talking about is we couldn't see inside. The killer couldn't have left. They could have hidden inside. We couldn't take any merch. The killer couldn't have
I
left.
see! If the panel was so close to the door that it could barely be opened, the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
Now that you mention it.
Does that mean they were hiding inside?
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used.
You don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
Nagito. Is that what she's saying? Huh?
I mean,
But if that's true, this murder.
Hajime? What do you mean?
The person who set up the domino effect inside the warehouse. There's only one person who could have done that. Did he set it up himself? Crazy bitch?
this is my answer.
Sounds like a Nagito thing. That's what he would do.
What
It
if
does. It's kind of
it
right up
was
his alley,
Nagito?
isn't it?
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
He wasn't just the victim. Maybe.
Me. It's like, no, that's wrong. Maybe.
Not just the victim? What does that mean?
He was the victim. And he was the perpetrator, too. Maybe.
Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be stupid.
And it's never happened before in this game series. Fuck.
His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget?
I'm just wondering. What the fuck? That's okay. I'm trying to think about what it could have been. Like, what it could be. What could he have set this up himself? Because if he, like, the way his left hand, well, it was his left hand, that's the problem. Could someone have just tied him up after? But how? I don't fucking know. Oh, I don't know. I was wondering that because the blood is on the outside of his hand essentially, and so he could have been stabbing himself. But the problem is how would he have stabbed his left arm? I don't know. It's so fucking weird, dude. It's so fucking weird.
Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
Let me see. Are you saying that was a suicide? Don't be stupid. His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget?
Nagito might do something like that, don't you think?
That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember? Even for a creep like Nagito, it'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs.
Yeah,
Don't
you're right.
underestimate me.
Yeah, as long as you understand.
Yeah.
We need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up.
Oh, we're gonna go with that.
Need to discuss? That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible.
Like you said, it seems impossible if you think about it, but I feel like I'm overlooking something. Could have been that the rope burned, the burned rope, but there's no blood on the handle. Torture wounds, burned rope, survival knife, duct tape, Monokuma plushie, Monokuma panels. Okay.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible.
Goddamn.
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Front tail.
Is that a dirty joke?
Us to Eli. If our assumption that Nagito committed suicide is correct, Nagito should have tied himself up too. It's okay, right?
To actually tie up your own arms and...
Okay.
No, that's wrong.
No.
Hold on a sec. Isn't that premise flawed?
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were...
No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms. The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up.
That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then.
It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that. But that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it.
Let's go and find that concrete evidence. No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms. Someone say his arms and legs were... Oh, it wasn't even tied up. He just tied it up at the fucking... Oh my fucking god. But then how does he stab his other hand? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were... No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms. The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up. That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then. It burned because of the fire, like you said. It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that, but that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it. Proof that the burnt rope on Nagito's right arm is a trap. It would be his right sleeve, because it was clean. That's it. It's it. I mean, that was a little bit of a guess, but it specified that.
Even though the rope was burnt up, his sleeve wasn't burned at all. Wouldn't you agree? A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural. That rope was burned in advance so it would look like it was burned in the fire.
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right?
Yeah, that should be the case.
Hajime, that's awesome! I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
Oh my fucking god. Nice work, dude. Fucking dig in, motherfucker. Oh,
You
Jesus.
should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first.
That can be considered a crime in some areas. Apparently not the Novoselic
That's
kingdom.
definitely wrong.
Oh. Got a problem with that, motherfucker?
Fine. I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right?
Oh, I was like a Benjamin Franklin. Like a...
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito. I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know?
Oh.
It's
Yeah, that's...
impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand.
Ah, that much is obvious.
Hajime, you tricked me. Give me back that Benjamin.
And uncop that feel. Not only did she charge me, now she wants the money back. Naughty the heck.
Hold on.
Oh, my high school life is so crazy.
Then hurry up and spill it.
If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10,000% interest.
Stop calling it a Benjamin. I'm gonna have to start calling it a Benjamin. A way to stab yourself in your right hand using only your right hand. It's okay. There's definitely an answer for this. I fucking hope so, Hajime, because I don't have one. Torture wounds, burn rope.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Yeah, fair.
Maybe he propped the knife somehow? And slammed his right hand down on it?
Propped it onto what?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily. We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand.
Nagito could only use his right hand to stab himself in the palm. Then how did he do it?
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
I agree with that.
Okay, there we go. All right. All right. Oh, we're at an hour. Holy
Life-size
fuck.
Monokuma plushie. He must have used that to prop.
Makes sense.
Of course.
That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach. He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. Then he slammed his hand onto it. If that's it, he had to place the plushie near him. And it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
Saying plushie over and over again is just fucking weird.
I see. So that's the trick.
But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something.
A bleeding plushie is super scary. It's got the same fear factor as a doll whose hair grows too long.
After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off toward the fire's origin point.
He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence.
So what do you think now, Fuyuhiko?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem. The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with a spear, right? If you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito. If that's true, how is that possible? He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
Then he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the knife into his right hand.
For some reason, okay, you know what? I was like, how is it? But how would he get his hand into the plushie? But I was like, it's because he's fucking. Never mind. I just thinking out loud. I thought it was stabbed into the ground. I didn't realize it was actually like his hand could still move around with the knife in it.
There is a limit to his constitution. If you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
You know what? I love that line so much that we're actually gonna cut this YouTube video off here, and I'm not gonna give you guys a cliffhanger. I mean, essentially it is because we're still doing the trial, but I'm just gonna say for now we're gonna leave it here because we are just over an hour now. Yeah, if you're having a good time watching this series, I'm glad. I'm really liking this. This whole game series is just fucking lit. And this trial is interesting. I find I like the clues in this game because you have to do a little bit more thinking than like, whereas in the first game it was a little bit more spelled out what they do. Like what they did was a little bit more like not literal, but like it was a little bit more obvious. Whereas in this one it's like they give you the description of what the clue is for, and then like a little something extra to be like, oh wait, but that's why it was like this, or that's why it was like that, and then you kind of have to use you have to use a little bit more logic to figure it out, which sometimes isn't my strong suit, but it's fucking fun. It's fucking fun when you actually do legitimately figure it out. But for now, we're gonna call it here. But I hope you're having a good day, and I hope you're liking this shit. And if you ever want to see me play live, it's on Twitch, baby. Just check out the description of the video you're watching below. And yeah, but for now, I will catch you in the next one. Baby boys and baby girls, thank you very much. Goodbye.